All right, hey, Tiki Trail. Everyone out there exploring the Tiki Trail, you ought to know about Three Dots and a Dash. I'm sure you've heard about this place. It's an amazing, phenomenal place here in Chicago, downtown Chicago. And I'm here today with Kevin Beary, who is the beverage director for Three Dots and a Dash. So thanks for joining this.
For sure, man. Thanks for coming down.
I know you do interviews all over the place, so I'm glad you're talking to, some little guy like me.
Of course, it's a pleasure to have you.
And I know, when I was here a while back, I heard that you had won Mai Tai had won third place in a competition.
Yeah.
I've heard you've now bettered that.
I did, yeah. I just got back from down the Beachcombers Mai Tai competition, which is held in Kona on the Big Island of Hawaii every August, and was fortunate enough this past round to take the first place title.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
So is there something you did differently to overcome the competition this time?
A really great field of competitors. These are a group of guys and girls that really, many of them are tiki bartenders from around the world, working, with Mai Tais and tropical and tiki cocktails every day. So for this year, I just kind of built on what I did last year, just a really nice Sicilian almond orgeat. Added in some freshly pressed green grape juice, obviously lime juice, and a little bit of a different blend of rums. An aged cachaça, some blended Jamaican rum, and a long-aged Puerto Rican rum to finish it off.
Okay, just so you know, I'm totally disappointed I can't have that tonight. But that's all right. I get that you don't have all the ingredients. And last time I saw you here, you were headed off to New York to do big boy interviews with real companies.
Yeah.
And how did that go? I mean, how was that received?
That was great. We tried to get some exposure in other markets, so that was kind of the purpose of a trip like that. And the real, my favorite takeaway from the trip was really going to see some of our favorite cocktail bars in the city. So, really got to see some awesome things happening, really get some influence and see what's happening in, one of the other big cocktail cities here in the States.
Yeah, and I saw one of the articles that came out that you were written up in was Forbes.
Yeah.
So they had included you and some of your take on that. So
yeah, on rums. Yeah, we talked to Forbes quite a bit about some of our favorite rum selections.
So for me, it's cool seeing mainstream big publications like that now talking about tiki.
Yeah.
Something like Forbes, business magazine talking tiki.
Absolutely.
That was pretty cool.
It was.
So you've got this great success. You've helped build this place to an awesome destination. And like I said, if you haven't been here, you have to come here. I'll talk more about the decor in a bit. So what's the secret for your success?
I mean, our number one focus and what we do here is to make great drinks, and that's one thing that I will not compromise on.
But what's the secret to your success?
I think it's that commitment. I think it's, like I said, really trying to be uncompromising, making sure that every drink that goes out has the freshest juice, the nicest looking garnish, is coming in a really intriguing, interesting mug. And then, of course, the rest of it that goes along with it. I mean, Tiki is founded in hospitality, so, making sure that, the service is at a level to make you feel comfortable, to relax and enjoy yourself and really get that escapist vacation feel.
Yeah, well, you've done a fantastic job.
Thanks so much, man.
Now, everybody has one. I've talked about mine on other podcasts and writings before. What's your tiki story? How did you end up in a tiki bar of all places?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I think really when Three Dots and a Dash had opened, before I had came on board here, I visited quite a bit, and I think this was some of my first exposure to sort of the resurgence of tiki bars. I had been to some of the original tiki bars prior to that, and really I think what drew me in was the style of making tiki cocktails. I mean, they're bold, they're adventurous, they're elaborate, they're well garnished, they really have very few limitations of what flavors you can and cannot use. And it's just, it's really a lot of fun, and I'd always really been a distilled spirits and rum enthusiast, so really, getting to expand, you know, the rums that I had experienced and tasted through that stuff really kind of sucked me in.
And I definitely understand that. I mean, I'm getting sucked into the whole rum culture now as being into tiki.
Yeah.
Learning more about rums. I mean, you know, if you'd asked me 2 years ago about rum, I'd have said, oh, well, Bacardi, Captain Morgan, that's about it.
Yep.
Now digging into all the different types of rums, a different place. I mean, it's a lot like wines, if
For
you
sure.
will.
Absolutely.
Depending on where it's made, how it's made, gives the taste.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Three Dots.
Mm-hmm.
So what's, you tell me the vibe of Three Dots and a Dash. What do you call the vibe?
Yeah, so you know, we kind of see ourselves as like the tiki speakeasy. So you know, the vibe can be quite different depending on when you come. You know, nice and relaxed, quiet early evenings like we're enjoying right now, to really high energy, you know, packed Friday and Saturday evenings. You know, we try to maintain a certain cool, but we want it to be fun. And you know, on the weekend, really letting loose and turning up the volume on that fun is sort of what we're after.
Now you've taken your decor and kind of gone, I say upscale. You're kind of upscale tiki.
Yeah, a little bit.
And the analogy that I use is, if you go to Frankie's in Las Vegas, dark, dank, smoky, beautiful place,
sure.
but you expect to see Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis, and the whole Rat Pack sitting in the back, in a back booth. Their jackets are off, they're having some drinks, smoking a cigarette. When I walk in here, I expect to see those same guys, but they're a little bit more suited up,
a little
little more buttoned, like they just got back from the show, or, you know, so it seems a little bit more upscale.
For sure. Yeah, I think that's sort of the direction the decor has gone. You know, a little bit maybe more refined, not quite as over the top. But I think that, you know, when you look back on all the great tiki bars, you know, anywhere from the 40s to the 60s, I mean, there were some really, really high-end tiki bars then too. You know, so I think there was kind of always that variation, and I think that's what we're seeing now with more and more opening, as everybody's got their own kind of style and twist on it.
Oh yeah, I mean, my view is tiki it's kind of like porn. It's in the eye of the beholder, right?
For sure.
You know, it's like there's different kinds of music, different decor. It's all, what's your escapism? What's your way to go? So,
Absolutely.
So I like that you guys have taken this twist, not even a twist so much, but a little, like I said, it's more upscale.
Yeah.
It's a cool vibe, and you know, like I said, I'll post pictures and videos from here a little bit later on. I've already put some up here, but at any rate. Yeah. So now, you know, I've had a chance to talk with some of your bartenders when I'm in here, and you guys go old school in that all the drinks are, it's one of this bottle, two of that bottle. They don't know how to make the secret drinks back there.
A little bit. I mean, there's some mystery to it. You know, anybody on my team that's really interested and engaged, I mean, they do know what rums are going in every cocktail. You know, somewhat the proportions may remain somewhat of a mystery, but yeah, we do sort of keep some of those items proprietary.
Well, that's what I found ironic, is that the bartenders you have are flipping top notch. I mean,
for sure.
They know their stuff.
Yeah.
And they're a great crew, and they can put stuff together. And it's like, I'll bet they have a good understanding of what's already in this. But, so then you guys just kind of do that mystery.
Yeah, and
that's
the great part,
cool.
I mean, we try to keep everybody involved in the, you know, R&D and development part of making the cocktails. So really, a lot of bartenders on the team have had a hand in helping us come up with the new modern style tiki cocktails.
Yeah, that's what I heard. How do I get invited to one of those taste testing parties? That's what I want to go to, man.
It sounds like you think they're a lot of fun, but when you start drinking tiki cocktails at 10 in the morning, you know, it's a little bit of a struggle sometimes.
You obviously weren't at Tiki Oasis.
We weren't, not this year.
Or didn't fully partake in the Hukilau.
Yeah, that one we did. And yeah, there were some early cocktails for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah. So what when you look at the audience here, the crowd that you get, how do you define your clientele in terms of their tikiness, their level of tiki?
I mean, I think it's from 1 to you know, full-on carved tiki. I mean, you know, anybody, for someone that doesn't even really realize that they're coming to a tiki bar, to someone that travels around the country only visiting tiki bars. I mean, we really get every.
We don't know anybody like that. Yeah, so that makes sense, and you know, I have noticed though that times when I'm in here, I may be one of the very few that's wearing a tiki shirt.
Yeah.
So I always wonder, okay, so what's the crowd like? How into it are they?
I mean, I think we do definitely get the full spectrum. I think that even the people that may not be necessarily really into tiki, when they come here, are certainly interested. You know, they rarely come in and say, you know, I just want to have a vodka tonic and a couple beers. You know, they're usually here to try something new if they're not familiar with tiki drinks.
I've seen those people order that, and I give them the evil death stare. It's like, what are you doing here taking up space? You know, you're in a tiki bar.
Yeah.
Try.
But at the end of the day, we are a cocktail bar, so our goal is to make you happy. If that's what your heart is set on when you come in the door, we'll find it for you.
Right. So now, looking at your menu, you've got amazing drinks.
Thanks.
What is the most popular drink that you have?
You know, we've seen a lot big success with the Tropical Itch, which is cool. You know,
because they like the back scratcher.
Like the back scratcher. They like that it's a big, tall, boozy, tropical tasting cocktail. I mean, I think for many people that's kind of what they think of tiki cocktails. You know, that one has the balance more on the boozy side, and people love it. I was a little hesitant to put a drink that strong on the menu, but pretty much immediately it was successful. So
I know what my next drink is going to be. But this drink, you got me a Jet Pilot, or I got a Jet Pilot, and that's very good. I got it because, you know, as I was telling you earlier today, I got to see some F-15s, and so I figured, well, keeping with the theme of the day, let's have a Jet Pilot. Now, so if you look at all of these, what would be your favorite drink on this?
People ask me that a lot. When I come in, I start with a Trader Vic style Mai Tai.
Okay.
You know, because I see it as a good way to kind of adjust your palate to tiki cocktails. You know, tiki cocktails generally have a lot of booze and they have a lot of citrus. Of course, they're all in balance, but I think you can kind of appreciate the more complex cocktails after you warm up your palate a little bit with something kind of like a Jet Pilot. I'm sorry, like a Trader Vic Mai Tai.
Yeah, you got confused with the Jet Pilot sitting right here in front of you. Yeah, sorry.
No, all good.
So now here's a question too. When people talk about they're doing a Mai Tai, you know, I'm from Southern California where Don the Beachcomber was.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake one time when I was in there mentioning something about the original Mai Tai at Vic's, and I was very quickly corrected. I had just gotten back from Trader Vic's, and they were adamant that they were the first, and I didn't know who had the first.
Yeah.
So what do you take? And I see more bars are doing the Vic style.
Sure.
Why do you think that is instead of the Don style? Because,
you know,
to be honest, I like the Don style.
Okay. You know, they're two different drinks. I mean, they're similar, and I think there's a lot of Don the Beachcomber drinks that are are definitely the inspiration for a Trader Vic style Mai Tai. I've just kind of always, I don't know, out of the two styles, I personally prefer Trader Vic style. So, like, you know what I mean, there's two camps. I don't want to say there's two camps. They're both great style. They're really cocktails, both styles of Mai Tais, but you know, I think everybody's got
if you've been to both, there are two camps.
Yeah, for sure.
You do not confuse one with the other.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of hysterical. It's you know, it's almost like a Pepsi Coke kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's talk a little bit about the tiki bar. So, what do you think makes a great tiki bar? Maybe from a commercial standpoint, and then maybe from a home standpoint. You know, because a lot of us, we have our home tiki bar.
Yeah.
So, what makes a great tiki bar?
You know, of course, I feel like the decor is really important. You have to have that feel that you're walking into sort of another world. But for me, maybe it's because of my focus on the bars. It's really about your cocktails. You know, like you have to be uncompromising to a point with using fresh juice and only the best ingredients and quality rums, and really taking the care to make cocktails that people would want to come back for.
Okay.
And at home, I think, see, that's where, you know, everybody's got their own tiki. At home, it's just about creating kind of whichever style you like.
Right.
You know, my home tiki setup is more towards the like late 60s, 70s style, kind of, I don't know, tiki den, I guess. But I think it's really whatever you want to create for yourself at home.
Yeah, well, I would add actually one other thing on the commercial side, and that is the lack of a better term, the aloha spirit or the ohana spirit.
Yeah.
The attitude of the people working at the bar.
For sure.
Because you can have a great drink, but if it's hard to get attention and there's no interaction and they're just, here you go, here's your drink.
Right.
I'm less likely to go back.
Yeah, I mean, a fair amount of these things you need a little explaining sometimes.
Right. And what I love and why I bring it up especially for you is because your staff is like that. I mean,
thanks, man.
You know, I had a chance to meet, actually met one of your staff in Paris last fall. So,
Nice.
we kind of connected at a tiki bar. We were there at Dirty Dick's in Paris.
Yeah, Scotty's place.
So yeah, so that's an awesome place as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I've been impressed with the staff that you have here.
Thanks, man.
I think that, I had some impressions. I came in, it's kind of upscale. Is it really that friendly?
Yeah.
But when I started engaging with the people, man, it's top notch.
Yeah.
You really put some cool stuff in.
Being a bartender at a tiki bar is hard. You really have to be interested and want to do it to make it worthwhile.
Right. So, all right, you're one of the leaders in all this stuff. You're one of the people that's bringing back great tiki drinks. Where's tiki as a genre going from here? Is it a fad? Is it carrying on? What do you think?
It's hard to say. I think that a lot of the influence of the modern cocktail movement has sort of migrated into tiki. So we're making cocktails on a really high level, and I don't think that's something that's going to go away. And I think that the style of cocktails, tiki drinks, are always going to have their place for a certain occasion. I think that there definitely is a heyday and a renaissance happening right now, but I think that the bars that really put the effort in will endure.
Well, you are definitely set to endure with this place. You've done a great job with Three Dots.
Appreciate it.
And thanks again for chatting with me. It's I know you're quite busy, and we've been trying for a few months now to get this together.
Sure,
so you're done traveling. I'm never done traveling.
Okay.
I head home tomorrow morning. But definitely thanks.
Yeah,
and for everybody that out there, if you have not been to Three Dots and a Dash in Chicago, you must come. This is a phenomenal place. Like I said, I'll show you what some of the place looks like, because the decor, top notch. And quite honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a tiki bar like this any other place around the country. Not even in Vegas, and it feels more like a Vegas swank to it.
All right.
But to me, it feels like a swank. But yeah, so you've done a great job, and let me take them on a tour here.